Welcome back to the Try Life On podcast. Hope everybody, I should say, is doing well out there. Today's episode is one of those conversations that feels less like an interview and more like running into one of your people in the wild. My guest is Marisa Wong. She is the founder and CEO of MW Experiences, which is a family business. I absolutely love that it's a family business. And she's in the business of something most adults have forgotten how to do, which is play. I wrote a newsletter, and the title of it was Adults Have Forgotten How to Dream. And Marissa helps people dream and execute on those dreams again. She creates world-class experiences, leadership retreats, incentive trips, and these high touch, high connection moments that pull people out of their rigid, over serious, checklist driven lives back into being human again, back to trying life on again. And you'll hear it right away. Her vibe is light, but the work is serious. She's not talking about taking a trip. That's not what this is. She's talking about building environments where people drop the mask, relax, connect, and remember what they actually care about. And that's a big theme in our conversation today. Entertainment is cool, like doing entertaining things is cool, but what's the point if it doesn't change you? If it doesn't bring you back to yourself, back to your people, back to the part of you that still knows how to wonder, just like we did when we were kids. Marissa's story is also a real Try Life On story, corporate background, then the inner nudge that she was meant to do something more. Then she got fired. Then she went to Asia. She started teaching scuba diving on a remote island, recalibrating her life around joy, and building a business that's now approaching 9 years of age. She talks about family support, ignoring the fear-based advice from people who never built what she was trying to build, and following your instincts even when it's not the quote unquote safe path, which I love that. We also get into what actually makes experiences transformational: intentionality, access, the right people in the room, and the feeling of being cared for. She explains why her team doesn't just plan events, they co host, they guide, and they create safety so people can fully exhale. And I think adults need that more and more. Sometimes we are so busy with our family lives and work lives that we need people to push us forward and guide us a little bit and then send us on our way. Kind of like your child riding a bike where you push them off and they got everything on their own. She dropped a bunch of examples: F1, Wimbledon, the French Open, a dude ranch trip that she talked about in Montana, cultural trips or corporate cultural trips like to Japan with 100 people, and even how she started doing individual and family experiences after COVID, which is something I'm very interested in. You'll hear me talk about that with my own parents. Near the end, she shares something really personal. She's writing a book about the power of experiences, including the hard ones, how she started her company and how her life has gone, and how they shape who we become. Plus, she's launching a Substack, newsletters, blogs, with real travel tips that can save you thousands. So if you've been grinding, building, producing, providing, doing all the responsible things that adults do, and you can feel that part of you that's a little asleep, this episode is your permission slip to wake up. Let's get into it with Marisa Wong.
Oh,
Hey. Oh,
hello.
of course you're outside somewhere. Are you outside? I hope you're not outside.
I am.
Or
I'm
is
in
it?
Miami.
Of course you are playing somewhere, being the adult kid that you are. I
Always
love
playing.
it. I could feel it. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's really an honor to meet you.
Well, thank you for having me. It's an honor to meet you.
Yeah. You know why I say that? Because you won me over. You already won me over when I read about your experience in your company and listened to you on a few different things. But it was when you sent me the message, we were talking on WhatsApp or whatever, and you were like, keep playing, keep dreaming. And oh, this is one of my people.
When someone else is playing and you can feel their vibe and that really taps into your inner child, you're
Yep.
just like light up with other people who you talk to, right? You gravitate
Absolutely.
towards your people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell people all the time, I think I wrote a newsletter on it, a blog somewhere. Adults have forgotten how to dream.
Hmm.
And in the intro that would have come before our conversation, I introduced you very well with all kinds of detail and playfulness, but also seriousness because you built an amazing brand. It's what you help people do through MW experiences, but you've been doing it for a very long time. It wasn't just with
Yes.
MW, there was a vibe to you.
Yes.
Yeah. So give me a little bit of background on that. We'll just jump right in.
Yeah, of course. Happy to. So
Yeah.
it all started off, I guess, like all of us when we get out of university. We're always thinking about what are we going to do for our future, right? And was
Yeah.
super lucky to get my dream job in sports events and sponsoring all the great sports all across Canada and so forth. And I already got that taste of play in university with my friends and so forth. Like, how can we take this in our life? And
Hmm.
didn't
Hmm.
know that in sports, you can actually use that in your business. And then I found, hey, if we can all go, use our passion for sports and events and do it for a job, isn't that the
Mm,
coolest thing ever?
mm.
And then I thought, okay, so as I was doing this over the past few years in the corporate world, I got some taps on the shoulder and being
Okay.
like, hey, can you plan this trip for us? Can you plan this trip for us? I was like, of course. But I was very selective in who we do it with because I only want to work with people who are fun.
Yeah.
And when we went
For
on
sure.
some of these trips, like some of our trips where we'd go to NHL All-Stars, we'd be going to NHL Stanley Cup, we'd be going to like MLB games, NFL, like Super Bowl games. I was like, this is fun. Like you get to do this for a living.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
bring more people to do this. And as people saw that we were doing this, a lot of other executives like, well, we need our trip to do something fun like that. How can we get it out of the boardroom and go
Mm.
do something fun like that? And my mom has been in real estate for about 30 something years.
Oh,
And
okay.
there are some trips that they go out and explore different places around the world. Where should we go invest in and so forth? And that kind of was already tapped into my subconscious brain. And
Yep.
as I
Yep.
was revealing through my experiences of working with such great badass people, more people want to travel, more people want to play. So it's like,
Yep.
well, why don't we bring people on these trips and go do that, right? Instead of just it being sports focused here for hosting your clients, well, let's go over here and let's go see Thailand, say, for example. What are the investments there? And how can we go explore Thailand together? What are some
Hmm.
fun adventures there? Oh, let's go to China. Okay, so there are some NHL games that are happening there. Let's also go
Hmm.
explore Shanghai while watching the game, while going exploring other parts of Asia. So the fact that you increment it, or sorry, really put down where the first purpose is to go to an event,
Yep.
bring some fun people together who want to
Yep.
do it together, learn from each other, then people will want to come and go do it too. So, Maurice,
Yes.
I ask you this question. It's like,
Yeah.
what are some events that you've wanted to go to? And are there people in your network or your clients who want to go to those events? And then you just bring them together.
Absolutely. And but I don't know why. So for me, by the way, I'm a big traveler and I read your blog where it's somewhere here, but where you were talking about the fact that travel will open you up and help you become more expansive. You might have a professional expansion of who you are, professional development of who you are, but you're definitely going to have a personal one way or the other. It's either I love this new thing that I'm experiencing, or I don't love this new thing that I'm experiencing, and I won't be back here one way or the other. I've always been like that, but to lay it on, I tend to be the person, along with my inner circle of friends and family, that is looking for the off the beaten path, you will never find it kind of thing.
Yes,
And
yes,
not that there's anything wrong with, by the way, I do want to go to Formula One, but not that there's anything wrong
got
with
it.
massive events, but I liked to do and still like to do the things where I am authentically connecting with people and learning about them and how can I plug into your life, or if I even should, and how can we be of assistance to each other, whether it's business, personal, or just energy or something like that.
Yes,
So it can be anywhere in the world, but I love the way that you are giving, it's almost like you're giving people, it's almost like you're giving adults an excuse again to stop being so rigid, to stop
yes,
being so formal, and to just live as we were intended to live, is what I think. That's what I
yes.
got from it all.
Yes, and thanks for, highlighting that. I think the one thing that I always come back to is why are we here?
Yep.
right? What is our purpose? And a lot of us have forgotten, like you mentioned earlier in our first discussion, was about play. We forgot to have
Yeah.
fun. We get so bogged down in our work and our day-to-day, like things that we have to do, our checklist. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. We have this whole list of I can'ts. So then what would
Yeah.
it take to
Yeah.
make it I can? So I took the time to, on these trips, really got to know a lot of the customers that were there. And what do they like to do? What do they not like to do? And why are they at this trip? They're
Mm.
leaders who are constantly at back-to-back meetings or getting called into so many different boardrooms. But why did they decide to spend these 2 nights, 3 days with us?
Yeah.
And a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
of the similarity of answers were because I get to be in the room with these people. So even if they're
Ah.
competitors, they're bringing them together so that they can learn, they can grow together. Also, additionally, I've never been to this golf course or I've never been to this space. I've
Mm.
never been to this island. So
Mm.
really excited me, right? Or I've never been to the French Open and they invited me. So a lot of them are like, it's on their bucket list or it's something that they want to be in connection with folks.
Yeah.
And the other thing is it's work related, which means
Yeah.
it's either a write-off or
It's
there's no
it's
cost.
gonna get paid for one way or the other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we saw that that was a big driver for a lot of people to say yes to these things, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
they're getting added benefit. Plus, it's part of a work thing, and it's something that checks off there already. It's on their bucket list. It's already a win-win,
Yep.
right?
I love it.
So I always tell some of our clients is that it's so important to get to know who your customers are. What do they like? What do they want? And so forth, right? If you're going to take their time, block that time out of their calendar, you better make it worth it.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
also, you want them to come year over year. So, how do you keep on bringing something to them that they want to do, that they're excited to do? I have one client, they create an event every single year. It originally started off as like 20 of them. Now it's grown to 40 of them because
Oh,
people in the industry have said, I want to go to that event because of these XYZ reasons that I just gave you. Additionally, it's something that they love to do because they can just play. They can just have fun. They don't have to
yes. Yes.
have their suit jacket on. And so even though we customize a suit jacket for them,
Yeah. Yeah.
the masters, but it
Yep.
was something where they can just remove their mask and they can just talk together as peer to peer. CEO of this company, CEO of that company, CEO of this company, all coming together to just have fun,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
I'm sure within your industry, where I can relate to this is that correct me if I'm wrong, you're in real estate, you're in
Yep.
development, right?
Yep.
So a lot of the developers, a lot of the real estate places, I'm in Miami right now, they invite some of the world top real estate agents to come together so they can see their property. They host them, they show them behind the scenes.
Oh, that is the kind of event you will organize that. They will
We've
hire you
done
to.
those as well.
Wow.
Yes. So we do it for different types of clientele. Some people only know I guess some of the clients that we work with, but a lot of our other clients are actually all of our clients are NDA'd, but there are some clients
Yep.
who just keep things hush hush, right? But they
Yep.
wanted to make sure that because their team are not experts in events, they want an expert to do it for them.
That's awesome.
Right. So they will connect with us and say, hey, we want to bring 40 people down to, let's say, Miami. We want to host them. We want to show them our property. We want to be able to get to know them. What is it that their client rosters want? What do they like, right? And there has to be at least one to two or three of their clients in their countries could be interested in this, right? In a Miami property. If
Yep.
not, within their network now,
Yep.
they're able to communicate that opportunity. So it's very powerful because word of mouth marketing is a lot stronger than, hey, let's put an ad on Instagram. Let's put an ad
Absolutely.
out here, right? And some of these places, they're so exclusive, they don't want their community just be anyone living in that same building or in that
Yeah.
same community. They
Yeah.
hand select them, right? So they want to make sure those real estate agents or mortgage brokers or so forth that they're inviting are bringing valuable clients that they are looking for. So they
I
also
love it.
scrub them for them. So there's
I love it.
many reasons why these events are so important. And I'm happy to dive in deeper if there's other
Yeah.
questions on that front.
But talk to me a little bit about the feel human again kind of mentality of this whole thing.
Yeah.
The excuse me for one second. The Try Life On moniker of the podcast is very much so. In a way, we're very related to each other in what we do and how we do it. So there's the real estate stuff I do for sure, but I've been helping people design their lives, let's say conscious creation,
Love
creating a
that.
world where you have, like I live in coastal Maryland where I am today, and I live in Beirut, but it's all one world to me. It's not, I have to go to this place or go to that place. So I've helped people design their lives in many mechanisms, everything from leaving corporate to being my story, leaving corporate to being a police officer to leaving entrepreneurialism and going back into corporate because that's what makes people happy. I genuinely believe that we get to this adult stage in life and we totally forgot the wonder that is life itself.
Yes.
Because we're doing all this stuff. So talk a little bit about your feel human again kind of philosophy and how it impacts the clients you spend time with.
Oh, if you just ask the people around you how alive they are, how
Yeah.
happy they are, you want to be around those types of people, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So there was a few folks that along my journey in the corporate where I saw, I'm like, how are you so happy? How are
Mm.
you like, what are you doing we work 80 hours a week and but that doesn't phase you. You're still happy. You still have time for your family, your kids, and you're still able to travel. Like, what's your secret? And they
Yeah.
said the key thing is to always do what you love. Because when you do what you love, it doesn't feel like work. It
Mm.
doesn't feel like, oh, my 9 o'clock, I have to be at this, or it's not a task. It's not something where you're dreading to do. But when you get to wake up in the morning and you're excited to get to do what you do,
Mm.
you're so excited about how you're going to spend those 24 hours that you get. That is the purpose of life, is sharing it with other people and being intentional with the time that you spend.
Yeah.
So one of my mentors said to me, he's like, Marissa, what are you passionate about? And I said, I love traveling. I love scuba diving. I love being able to, be with family and friends to go see the
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
right? Why? Because that allows me to just be my little kid again, be that little Marissa who's just going and being like that explorer.
Mm.
And when you go do that, that's where the creative minds come, the juices flow. When
Mm.
think about when you're back in the
Right.
sandbox, right? Where you're building your castles, you're playing with your toys, and there's just no stress, right?
Mm.
So I always ask myself, where do I want to play? Where do I want to spend my time?
Yep.
And that, when you're helping someone kind of put together their life plan, say, for example, how do you design your life? I always design it around play.
Play. Mm.
Play. And it could be going to the F1. Why? Because I loved building race cars with my dad when I was a little kid,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And there was a project that I had in my, I guess we would say, later years of high school in physics, where we had to build this car with sensors that weren't able to fall off the table, but no remote controls. And I'm like, how are you going to do this? But it allowed myself to go to my dad. I'm like, Dad, I really need your help. He's a system engineer, and being
Yeah.
like, hey, I need to create this. He's like, okay, let's do it. And even if I was in high school, I was still a little girl, like, building these cars with my dad and just figuring out how to do it and so forth. And those moments reminded me, it could be just the simple pleasures of building something, simple
Yeah.
pleasures of, the love and passion of cars. And then I kept that same passion. And when F1 started to really blow up, I was like, Dad, I've been working super hard and you've always loved cars. Do you want to go to F1? And he's
Oh,
like, really?
it hit him,
What?
didn't it? It hit him.
It hit him right here.
Yeah, I
And
love
I
it. I
took
love it.
him
I love
to
it,
the
man.
Montreal Grand Prix. And we went downstairs to the garage and he got to see it. And he was just standing there in like this little kid eyes, staring at these guys who are changing the tires, working on the engines. And he's like, I've worked with a lot of brilliant minds in building
Mm.
systems, but
Mm.
seeing those guys, that team, how quick they are to change the tires, how they are to like fix the problems of setup and so forth, like how it all comes together. There's a bigger appreciation for the F1
Yeah,
and understanding how an elite sport like this takes not only numbers of people and brilliant minds, but also the money behind it too, right?
for
To
sure. It's
fund it and
massive.
so forth. Massive. So
Yeah.
there's greater appreciation for it. And I think Netflix did a really good job to show behind the scenes. But the key thing there, I saw everybody all around us, and it was just like the adults were kids again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that, for me, reminds me why we do what we do and why it's so important to spend this with family, our parents.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, but I have a sneaky suspicion that, well, not sneaky suspicion. You could probably explain this well. To me, there's a difference between a trip or doing an event for entertainment
Yes.
and a trip or doing an event for the transformational aspects of it. And maybe you can speak to that a little bit because there are some people who just want to go have some momentous event, maybe go to Formula One or the NFL or like I went back to my well, it was transformative. I went back to my college where I played football last year. So I was 49 at the time and I went back on the field
You're
and I just
49?
yeah, I'm
Really?
50 now. Yeah.
Well done. High five to that.
You got it. You got it. And I found myself running. I was sprinting up and down the field, screaming out loud because I was just like, "Oh my God, I love being back and stuff." But there is a difference between entertainment and transformation, and I think you kind of handle both. Can you speak to that a little bit?
What is entertainment without transformation, right?
Mm,
That's just music, or that's just the puppet in front of you that's just performing for you. But
yeah,
really, even as an artist and even as an athlete, I'm sure when you're playing football, you can be playing and you're entertaining the crowds, or
yeah,
you're playing for the win and really transforming the energy in that stadium.
yeah.
Similar to an artist, they're transforming the energy in that arena, right? And the key thing there is really just connecting with your inner self, what you're trying to share with the world, your talent, that fire in your belly to other people who are around you.
Mm,
And that's where I think a lot of people miss that is like, I'm just entertainer. I'm just a football player. I'm just a whatever XYZ. No, you're here to bring your energy forward, to bring your best. And when you
mm,
do, it actually enables other people to bring their best, right?
yeah,
When you
yeah,
show up, your teammates show up. When you're an entertainer, when you're singing at your best, your band's also like bringing forth their best, right? So it's a collective, it's a team energy in that
mm.
spirit. So that entertainment then naturally fosters in transformation when you're bringing your best.
I
And
love
that
it.
goes in anything you do, like whether you're a leader, whether you're a family man, whether you're like entertainer, an athlete, all that. The whole thing that I feel that we miss, especially today, it's a
Mm.
checkbox, right? Oh yeah, I went to that event. I what?
Everything, everything's a
It's a
checkbox.
bucket
Yeah,
list.
yeah.
But okay, so you've been there. You tapped your foot on the football field. Okay, so what? Ah, well, this was nostalgic. I was able to really, do it with my father, my brother, my sister. I was really do it with my like teammates that we haven't seen in so long since university. It was such a like it was going back through memory lane, right?
Yeah.
So it does transform you, right? It goes back to
Big time. Big time.
remembering.
Yeah. And it just you just kind of remember everything that you've been through and to be able to cycle back. But it's the intentionality of it. And I know people are
Yes.
coming to you for help for creating the intentionality. I tend to
Mm,
be very intentional about where I go, when I go, how I go, and I do it a lot. I knew I needed to go back to my college football
yes.
field to just I had to almost like close the door a little bit. You know what I mean?
Really?
From
Close
where
it or
well,
walk back to it.
walk back to it. Walk back to it. Because I like the feeling of feeling good, and I feel good when I'm in that kid mode all the
Yeah.
time, you know? But okay, so you have all these clients, and I know you have NDAs, and I saw some of the companies you've worked with that allowed you to put their logo and stuff, but I gotta think that you run into cynical and burned out and like life is serious. I gotta get my revenue reports done and how do you help those kinds of adults drop the mask without forcing it?
Great question. And I only laugh because, we've all been there, right? That
Yeah,
grumpy
me too.
person, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I can't go on that trip. I'm so busy. Like, we have a retreat next week, and I'm like, I no, I have so much stuff to do. We have to hit our year-end goals. We have to, focus, 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 get in, hitting the results. So
Yeah.
I was one of those grumpy sort of folks that you're just talking about. But then I had to check myself, and it
Mm,
had to be a real mindset shift and say, hey, Marisa, what are you doing this for?
mm,
Right? Like, how lucky are you that you get invited to these events? How lucky are you that you get to be in a room with these individuals? So that was my own personal shift in that mindset. And when I was able to see that and remove all of the weight from the task and things I had to do, the responsibilities, I'm now able to really appreciate the opportunity in front of me. Right?
mm,
So
mm,
for those who've been, I guess I've crossed my paths on our trips and so forth, they have It takes them probably about maybe an hour or as soon as they walk in and they see the room, they're with their friends again, or they realize that they're here,
Mm.
it naturally transforms. We don't have to.
It dissolves right away.
Oh yeah. It's
Yeah.
like think about even when you're even as a football player,
Mm.
right in your locker room, you're all in your mind. You're thinking about the game, you're thinking the play-by-play, and you're thinking about all the logistics. But the moment you step on that field, the moment you put on your gear
Yeah.
and
I
you're
know where
in
you're going.
game mode,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
You don't even remember any of those other things at home, all the tasks and so forth. You're just here to play. And I see that same transformation from a lot of our guests who do then step into the playground that we bring them into. And it's really cool because we have to like really plan that environment and be strategic on that. So that's why we handpick our staff, our team players who are in there because they
Oh, it's
bring that
that
energy and
detailed.
that. Oh
Oh,
yeah. So it's just not
wow.
like, hey Maurice, here's your itinerary, off you go, see you later. Our team is there. We welcome you, we guide you, we talk to you. So even though your team is there hosting, we are there co-hosting with you, which is
Um,
very different than other agencies and so forth. We get to know
yeah.
your guests, we get to make them feel similar to, when you walk into a hotel, right? They get to know
Yeah.
you, they walk you to your room, they're with you the whole experience. That's what we also do. And that we found that that's super important because people want to feel safe.
Yeah.
People
For
want to
sure.
feel like they're taken care of.
For sure.
So that's what we ensure on our trips that we do. And that's why we're not like any other
I
agency
love
or
it.
just event planners. And to your other question about how do you kind of, get people to, I guess, leave their story at the
Yeah, like
door?
drop the facade of it all.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we start with being the example, right? When we
Mm.
are there with them, we already in that like, playful mode with them. So you naturally gravitate towards energy, right?
Yep. For sure.
So
Yeah, for
when you
sure.
bring that energy, they then start to slowly match
They
that
feel it.
energy
They
and
feel
they
it.
feel it. So it's important that no matter what you do, you can even go to a dining room with some of your guests and they may still have that mask. But when you bring that energy, that like welcomeness, that friendliness, that home, like, hey, welcome home,
Yeah.
they start to release that mask starts to melt away.
Do you have, so are all of your events team based? Meaning, do you do you pull together events for individual people, or it's always a team from, let's say, one entity or one company or something like that?
Great question. One thing that we had noticed, especially after this thing called COVID, do you remember that minor
Yeah,
blip in our lives?
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the corporations had put a pause on their trips.
Mm.
So as, of course, government says no human connection, no meetups and so forth.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah.
That takes a big hit on a company like an events company, right?
Mm. Mm.
So we had to think about how do we survive through this? How do we thrive through this? And we got a lot of requests for individuals. Let's say you want to take your wife and or your wife wanted to take you for your 50th
Exactly.
birthday.
Yeah.
And one of the gentlemen's actually took his wife for her 50th birthday to Wimbledon. Or another gentleman took his wife to the French Open. So
Mm.
historically, before COVID, we would not do individuals,
Okay.
but we found that, well, what is our purpose? What are we doing? What we're doing? Well, we want to make dreams come true. We want to bring the access to people so that they can have fun. Okay, well, is this not an example of that? Maurice wants to go for his 50th anniversary. So why would we say no, or 50th birthday, excuse me. So why would
Yeah.
we not do that for him? So we did start to open up to do more individual itineraries. And we still
Okay.
do. Those are based on us getting to know the guest and who they want, what they want to do and how they want to do it. And it does take a lot of work
Yeah.
because for one
It's
person
one
or
person. I mean, it's a business, in fact. So there's economies of scale you have to meet.
correct.
Yeah.
However, I realized that you can't I take this back. I realized that if our real goal is to help people, let's help people.
Then let's help.
Especially in
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
time of COVID, people are wanting to travel, they want to go explore, and they really need help. Say yes.
And so we did.
Mm.
And it was actually a great learning for us because we got to know all these other different places. It gave us ideas of where we could take our bigger groups to. It allowed us to get back into the world of creating. So even if you're creating for 2 people or 400 people, you still have to have that mindset of the details. And so it allowed
Yeah.
our team to still get back into the practice of
Yeah.
creating these events, especially after 2.5 years of not doing it.
So I have and I'm glad I ran into you and your company and what you do, and mainly your philosophy. Like companies are great, but it's people's philosophies that I truly care about. But so I told you I turned 50. I still technically work, but I am very intentional about the fact that I have enough resources. I don't want to go create more and more and more in exchange for not spending time with my family and people that I care about a lot. And my dad is 78, my mom is 74. They just celebrated their 53rd wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
And yeah, they're awesome. And I'm like, you know what? I think I want to travel with my mom and dad, but it's a different like me, I get on a plane and I roll out, like I'll roll out to Beirut on Monday, or I'll go down to the Caribbean and go see a friend for lunch and I'll come back. I do a lot of travel hacking. But if I want to take
Love
my
that.
parents out and go do something worldly, that's why I was asking the question of like, sometimes we need help, you know? Like there are these amazing things you can do in the world. It's easy to do it for your relatively easy to do it for
Yeah,
yourself,
of
but you do
course.
need people to help you kind of brainstorm and expand your mind on the art of the possible. That's why I was asking if it's just companies or can it be individuals or let's say a family or something like that.
Yes, it can be for sure. And it also could be a collective group of families too, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
if we've already done this itinerary for this family, we can share it with you. And then you're like, oh, well, I have a friend who wants to bring their family. I have another friend who wants to bring their family. And it ends up being 3 families. So then you have 15 people there. That's cool too, because then you can tack onto the savings of economies of scale,
Got
right?
you.
Because you
Got
can
you.
negotiate and so forth. I think the world that we live in today, internet has enabled all of us to be able to
Mm,
plan our own trips, right?
mm,
Like, I love what you said there. Like, you're a travel hacker. Like, I would love to learn your tips and tricks on how you
mm.
travel hack. Like, that's how I got some of my tips is like learning from other people. And then we share our
Yeah.
knowledge. At the end of the day, we're not trying to close in the information and being like, oh, this is ours. It's like, this is meant to be shared. And this is why I'm chatting with you here, because if we
Yeah.
collectively can inspire other people to go do this or to learn our tips and tricks to go do this, like I want to learn how to go down to the Caribbeans in a day and then come back. Like, what? Baller.
No
Like,
doubt.
why not? Right. But I think a lot of people, and this is what I love what you're doing, we're helping with people, their mindset's already blocking them from going.
Yes, it starts right there. Hmm.
Right? Even if you get an email saying, "Hey, book now," and the flights are 50% off, they'll be like, "Oh, I don't know, even though it's a deal, I don't think I have time. I don't want to plan it." Or
Yeah,
it's
it's that
like,
self-talk. It's
it's
limiting
that
beliefs right away.
that comfortability of
Yeah.
just want to stay home. And don't get me wrong, we've all built homes that are super comfortable, but we need to go out there and explore because what's out there is fun, is play, and you can see like all the memories and experiences that you get. And that's what we have to do at the end of life is like collect all these moments of experiences because that's really all that we can take with us when we
That's
die.
it. It's memories. It's memories. I so let me shift off of so I think what you do is amazing. Actually, one more question on actually what you do. Can
Yeah,
you just run through some events, some things that you put together? So you mentioned Formula One, you mentioned the Super Bowl, I think you mentioned the Super Bowl, or at least NFL.
yeah.
What else? Just go down the list on just things you can think of, maybe a few examples.
Yeah, of course. There is an infinite possibilities
Infinite.
of
Yeah, of course.
it
Yeah.
just depends on what you want, what's your budget, and the timelines that you want to go and who you want to go with, right?
Mm,
So just off the top, yes, you named some great ones. We're really sports focused because a
okay.
lot of people want to go to sports events, and we, as a family, this is a family business, love sports.
Mm,
And so that's always been a passion. So within golf, say for example, we've done the Masters, we've done the RBC Canadian Open, we've done British Open. You can also look into tennis, so Aussie Open, the Grand Slams like French Open, Wimbledon, US Open. We've also, and then you can think of hockey, so Stanley Cup finals, All-Stars,
Okay. Okay.
and then actual games as well throughout the season. And then NFL, where you're going to the NFL Super Bowl or you go to NFL games, home openers. Those are some because actually a few of our clients are sponsors of each of those sports,
Oh, okay. Okay.
right? So we've taken their clients down. Other ones are MLB. So we were just in the World Series, go Jays, go.
Oh man. Okay.
So
Yeah.
taking my mom and my brother
Yeah.
and my cousin. My mom, 32 years ago, was in the labor room when the Canadians, Toronto Blue Jays, were in
Uh-huh.
the World Series. She comes
Oh
out,
wow.
she's about to have my brother, and I remembered my dad telling us that mom demanded that she has a room specifically with a TV so she can watch the game.
Oh man. I love
And
it. I
seeing
love it.
Joe Carter hit
I
that
love it.
grand slam was
Joe
unreal.
Carter. Oh man, you brought me back. Yeah. No doubt.
I divest, but I divert, but like those are some really great
Great
sports
example.
events.
Yeah.
And then F1. So think about any sports, we can do that. It's the access to the game, happy to help, right? And then we build around
You
that
build
event.
the experience around that event.
Yes. And then we have
Yeah.
President's Club trips that have gone to places like dude ranches. Have you heard of a dude ranch?
I think so. I think you are working together every day or something like that.
No. Dude
No.
ranch is actually a ranch
Mm.
where you can, there's cattle herding, there's horseback riding, there's fly fishing, there's skeet shooting,
Oh,
and then
okay.
there is glamping. And so it's going to a ranch. They call these
Yeah.
dude ranches historically because it's for like guys or cowboys who are going and playing and connecting with each other. So there's several of these dude ranches all around the states, and they're great for team building, great for bringing your family to come together during the summertime or the fall season. And you go, it's kind of like a cottage in a sense for some folks. And they're super fun, but people don't even think that you can go do that. Um,
Okay.
but you can go to
You can
Montana,
go do that.
go in the back mountains, and it's called Dude Ranch. And then there are other experiences like going to Japan and doing a cultural trip
Mm.
where right now we're bringing 100 people over there because they're a restaurant group and they wanted
Oh,
to, so they're adding a lot more Japanese into their menu and they're
okay.
across North America. But they really wanted to get their team to do an offsite to really bring them together because they're all across, the country and
Yep.
state.
Yep.
But they also wanted them to learn the traditional Japanese culture. Because when you understand a culture, you're able to bring that back to your
Yeah.
customers who you're
To your
serving.
customers and your business with more empathy and understanding.
Yes. And going to Japan with 100 people is a big task
That's a
because
lot. That's a lot.
most of their restaurants can only fit 8 to 10 people. So how are you
Wow.
going to fit 100 people?
Right.
So our team was tasked with this, and it's been a brilliant project because a lot of fun challenges. But how cool is it that you get to bring these people to a place across the world?
Yeah.
And Japan is such a beautiful place to be.
I love it. You have a lot of examples. All right, so I'm going to pivot us just as we wrap up. So you brought me right exactly where I wanted to go when you said that this is a family business. So I want to shift into your own try life on, let's say, setup of your life where you left corporate. You decided at some point to start a business. Maybe you had the threads of it before, I'm not totally sure. And then when I was researching you, what I noticed was everyone's last name on your business website, which I love because there's no better way to live than to share the benefits of it and the growth of it with family, although that can be a double-edged sword sometimes. But you just talk about the aspects of starting a business, what it's been like for you in your own lifestyle, and then just give maybe a little bit of advice to other folks who want to take their corporate experience and knowledge and transfer it into something that they wholly own.
Yeah, great question.
Yeah.
If I think back to the corporate days, I had this inkling in my belly that said, you're meant for more.
Yeah, me too.
And I kind of ignored it for the longest time. But I was surrounded by some really kind leaders. And I had my director at the time ask me in our one-on-one and said, Marissa, why are you doing this for us when you can do this for
Mm,
yourself? And I
mm,
was like, what? What do you mean? And he's like, well, first and foremost, and I'm no lie, Maurice, he said this to me. Okay, Marissa, you have no kids, you have no partner, and you have no mortgage. And I was like, Thank you for pointing out the obvious. Thank you. I appreciate that. I
Okay.
am so
Okay.
far in life right now. And he's like, no, no, no. All jokes aside,
Yeah.
you have nothing holding you back,
He was saying it for the right reasons.
right?
Yeah.
You have infinite possibilities. Go try building your business. And here an example of a lady who did, and she's married, actually. She just had her first kid. She just started her business.
Mm,
And, she's doing it. Nothing's holding you back from it. Go set up your business. So what he was saying is that, yes, we can work for a corporate company.
mm,
But the key thing is go try something and don't let your situations hold you back, whether you have a family, whether you just got married, whether you have mortgage or not, or whether, in my case, you have everything at your fingertips and nothing holding back, go do it. And
mm.
so that already planted a seed in my mind. And then unfortunately, I got fired from my job and I was like, whoa, okay, well, what do I do now? And I had to figure it out. And I had these two big companies who've seen me in the industry, and they immediately asked me to run their business, run their events for them. I said, "Hold on a
Wow.
second. I haven't even incorporated yet. Let me go and figure out myself. Let me go try life on for a bit for myself."
Yeah. That's what's up. Yep. Yep.
Right? And
Yep.
so I went over to Asia, was teaching scuba diving on this
I
remote
love it.
island, really just getting back into play mode, figuring out who I am. What do
Mm,
I want to do? I was always the good girl, getting the degree, getting the dream job, always listening to the parents and making sure that I get my job when I was 16, like all the proper things, right?
mm.
Saving money and so forth. But now I was wanting to do things with what does Marissa want? What do I
Yep.
want to do?
Yep.
And so I needed some time to go figure that out. So travel, so exactly like, flying to the Caribbean for a day, like that may
Yeah.
help you open your mind and being like, hey, what's real? What's the reality here? What reality do I want to live?
Mm,
And then I went back to Canada and I said, yep, let's do it. I started working with those clients and they've been with us since we started and we're almost 9 years old now and just kept
wow.
on growing from there. And then to answer your question about family, family's always supported me in everything that I do. My mom is
Yeah.
my biggest cheerleader. My dad is my other big cheerleader. And, just from being at our sports games and so forth. And so when I told them that I'm setting up this business, they're like, good, I'm happy for you. Let's go. Let's do
They
it.
were there
Which is,
with you. They encouraged it.
yes,
They
which
had
is
no fear
contrary.
of the whole safety net thing of corporate life and all that. And
Of course, but they said that whatever happens, we're here to support you,
okay.
right? And knowing that actually gave me that safety net. I didn't need that from anything else, but just hearing that voice,
Yeah.
their commitment to that was my safety net. And for which is contrary to some of my aunts who said, "Do you really think you can build a business from experiences? Like,
They
really?"
said that. They said that.
Go back to the corporate world. It's safe. Get a job. You want that monthly income so you can buy a house, build a family. And it really hit me hard there, Maurice, because
Mm,
I look up to my aunts, right? And some of them, they're elder than you. You have to respect them. And I went to my mom and I told her this, and she said, "Whatever you do, we support it."
I love it.
And just having those cheerleaders in your corner, I listen to them versus the naysayers. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people can attest to this, where it's like, oh, why do you want to try that life? Why do you want to try this? Why do you want to try that? It's like, well, why not?
Why
I don't
not? Yeah.
I don't know unless I try it. And if you fall, get back up. Just like
Yep.
riding a bike.
Yep.
And if I had listened to my aunts, I would not
You.
have built this.
I know. I know. And one of the I haven't said it in a long time, but I always say your peers, coworkers, neighbors, or even family are the ones who are putting their fears on you. Those
Exactly.
folks are the ones who've been killing dreams since the beginning of time, not because they intentionally mean to pull your joy back or pull your energy back, but it's their fear on their life that they're now implanting on you, which has nothing to do with you, actually.
Yeah.
And in fact, I'm
They
sure
feel
many of those people are looking at you now and be like, man, I wish I would have kind of jumped and did my own thing at some point. And but it's hard for people to do it, but you did do it.
When I look at those, and actually, you said it so right, where they imprint on you essentially, right? Their fears.
Yeah.
And, but you have to look at what dreams have they created, right?
Mm,
And go back to the analogy of an athlete, thinking back to when you were playing football, would you ever take advice or coaching advice from people who's just sitting in the stands who've
No.
not been on the field with you?
Right. Right. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
But
Yeah.
why would you listen to people who have not done it?
Yeah.
Listen to those who have done it and learn from them. Get
Mhm.
inspired by them. Take everybody's advice, those who are closest to you, as a grain of salt. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. Go find the people who've already done it
Yep.
and
I
surround
totally.
yourself around them. Try what their life is like and see if that jacket that fits right for you. If you like that
Yeah.
feeling, how it makes you look
Yeah.
in the mirror and you're like, "Ooh, this looks
And that
good on
vibe. And
me.
that vibe.
This is
Yeah.
a vibe." Okay, then go that way. But if you try and you're like, "You know what? Don't really like that." Okay, try something else. What other things do you want to try on?
Mhm.
Everything's a trial. We test every single day. Do we want this
That's it.
event? Do we like this? No, I don't recommend this event. Okay, go over here. Do we recommend this event? Yes. Why? Okay, we then bring more people to that. It varies. Yeah, it's a life is trial and error. Figure out what
Yeah.
you like, but you don't have to commit to something full head and say, like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
Yep.
Try it on. See
Try
if
it
it
on.
works.
Try life
And
on.
Maurice, your title of especially what you're teaching other people for your life, it's like it's so easy to just sit back and do this life that we already know. It
Yep.
takes more effort to try in something that you don't know. Get out of
That's
your
it.
comfort zone.
That's it. And I don't want to gloss. You said something that is so powerful. You said you can listen to people who've done what it is that you are trying to do, and you resonate with them and you feel it. But I want to translate that into saying, listen to your own instincts.
Yes.
We have this feeling that we should be doing something more. You when you were in corporate, same thing for me. I just wanted to be a street cop. And I was like, I don't know,
But
because
street cop is a badass, you know that?
I loved it. I
I'm just
saw
I'm just
somebody's
gonna brush some of the dust off your shoulders there, okay?
that's
Street cop,
it.
that's a
I
mad street
I
rat.
did it. I did it. I did it. While I was corporate, I went to be a street cop in the middle of the night, a midnight patrol officer for 15 years at the same time. And it was just because my instinct was telling me it was something that I needed to do before I punched off this planet. And that's what, when you said, when you resonate with other people, I wanted folks to pick up on that because your instinct is probably telling you what you're supposed to do. It probably is.
Mhm.
It's just that traditional media, social media, your friends, peers, coworkers, neighbors, how your family raised you, what is seen as normal versus what is seen as, oh, he's a maverick. He doesn't want to do things his way, or she doesn't want to do things the way everybody else does it. Follow. At the end of all of this, you said it. It's going to be the memories. It's going to be the choices. It's not going to be your money, what you've earned, your title. It's how you felt, who you spent time with, and all that stuff. And you certainly
And
followed
the
your
impact,
experiences
and the
and
impact, and the
and the
impact you've
impact
created.
and the
How
impact.
did you leave this world? A better
Yeah,
place? I
love it.
hope everybody says that they left this place a better place and they added value to
Yeah,
others around them. They inspired other people.
yeah. And if you are reminding adults how to feel like a kid again, you are impacting people. And I love that. And I'm glad that you came and impacted my community, the Try Life On community. And it's just such a wonderful opportunity to meet you. And I hope I meet you in person too.
Ditto. If I can ask you a question,
Yeah, sure.
what's your dream?
Man, my dreams now, I'll tell you, my dreams now are very much around taking everything that I have earned, leveraging it, and living really, really, really hard. I think there comes a point of we can grow to the point of growth becomes the thing you want to do on a day-to-day basis, as opposed to just experiencing life on a day-to-day basis. And that's
Mm,
where I am. But I will tell you, like my perfect day, it's an exercise. We do a visioning exercise in the Try Life On process. It says in there more experiences and more meaningful relationships. So the F1s of the world, the Wimbledons of the world, things that I don't know anything about, I want to experience them. I want to
yes.
feel them. I want to know the people who understand them. And if I don't like them, that's okay. Oh, I want to give you one example because this will be good for the community as well. I went to Turks and Caicos to learn how to wake surf. Okay. And then I took that skill. This guy named Jake Castor, who used to be a professional wake surfer, he was my coach for a week. I paid for him. That was an investment in myself. Kind of like probably what MW does for a lot of other people, but that was an investment in myself. Then I took that skill and I went to Switzerland, as I told you, with my son. And then I ended up in southern France wake surfing on a lake in southern France. It was the craziest thing. When I was done, I was like, oh man, I just wake surfed in southern France. And I was like, yeah, I don't need to do that anymore. I'm good. I'm like,
Check.
right. There's no like, this is the thing I'm going to do for the rest of my life. It's just feeling life and having MW experiences and getting out there and not subscribing to status quo world. That's kind of how I'm living as much as possible.
So you try the life on of wake surfing, of
Yeah, I
being
did.
able to just be on that board.
Yes. Yes.
And you can
And now
speak to
I
that.
understand it's not going to be my thing forever, but I do know that I'm a waterman. I'm someone who likes to recreate, live, and work by water.
Mm, same. Us water
Yeah.
babies.
Yeah. For sure, for
So
sure.
going to back to your F1 experience, like, how cool it would be if like you brought your community. Maybe it could be even five of you that go down and they get to spend time together with you. Because I know even if I asked my group of friends, like we were at a dining experience with for our Tony Robbins event, and
Yeah.
just even 20 people sitting at the table. There was already 10 people who wanted to go. We said, okay,
Mm,
well then come with us.
let's do it.
So
Let's do
let's
it.
do it. So it's just bringing friends together. And what I've learned from a lot of the
Um,
brilliant minds that I've been mentored by, they create their own mastermind groups where they go and travel and they learn together, they go play together. And it could
yeah.
just be as simple as like, hey guys, I'm gonna go try life on in the Caribbeans. Or, hey guys, I'm gonna go try life on in Italy to the F1 in Monza. Who wants to come?
Mm,
Or I'm gonna go
mm.
to the F1 in Monaco. Who wants to come? And then more than you know it, maybe 5, 10, maybe even 20 people are coming.
They will buck up and say something. Oh, you know what,
Just
Marissa?
put the light bulb out and be like, anybody? Anybody have this
I
brilliant
just
idea?
I just did the first Try Life on Mastermind. We just concluded. It was a year, and there's 10 of us, two from France, one from Slovenia, the rest from different parts of the US. And we're like a family now. And I wasn't even thinking about it, but when you just said it was like, hey, I'm going down the F1, who would want to roll down there? Because they're like-minded people. And when we get to this adult stage, it's very difficult to find expansive, like-minded, want you to grow, never have anything negative to say. And what better way to grow as a group than to go do something spectacular like that?
And you nailed it right there is you bringing people who are like-minded, right? We gravitate towards those who are like-minded. If Maurice has gone there, Maurice likes it. Why wouldn't I like it?
Right, right.
Right? It's
Oh,
just like a restaurant. If you recommended a restaurant, I'm going to trust your judgment because you liked it and we vibe. So of course I'm going to follow suit. And if you're going to go to this event, why would I not want to go with you? Your
absolutely.
vibe, you're this like fun, energetic person. I know I'm going to have fun with you.
Yeah.
So, and most events I actually go by myself because I have to go and see it and so forth. But
Yeah.
now a lot of folks are like, well, why didn't you just tell me? I would have gone with you. You want to go and site check with me? Okay. So then I started inviting people. And it's just a simple thing of like having a conversation with a mate like you and I, and just like,
Yeah. With
oh yeah,
expansive folks.
okay, this is what I gotta go do. Do you want to go try it? Like yeah, like there's no itinerary. I just have to go and see it and so forth. So it's not like, I have a schedule or anything. I'm just going for the event, planning around it, flowing with it. You good with that? They're like, hell yeah, let's go
Awesome.
do that. So if you want to join me on the next one, happy to have you.
Well, I know I'm going to be reaching out to you. Marissa, where can people find you? And by the way, I feel like you have a book coming out, but I'm not totally sure. I didn't mention it.
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
Talk about that first, actually.
So this is one of the examples that I would use in my book,
Okay.
the power of experiences. The power of it really comes back down to the power of really connecting with people, the things that you've learned in your life. A lot of folks look at experiences in it sometimes in a negative way and sometimes in a positive way. Like, for example, getting fired from the corporate. At
Mm,
that point in my life, it was a very tough, shameful moment because who gets fired from their job? Well,
mm,
actually, in
mm.
reality, a lot of people
A
do,
lot
but
of
I didn't
people.
see
Yeah.
it that way.
Yeah.
until I was able to do the inner work and then share my experience with others. Then we all can relate together and so forth. So it stemmed from those tough experiences for me to realize that we need to be more open with our experiences and how powerful they are in shaping the people that
Mm,
we become.
mm,
And so that's really the synopsis of the book is showing you how these interactions, whether you're with a human being, a stranger, or someone you've known, or someone in your lifetime, or just going out there and solo traveling, it's a collection of my life experiences as well as my mentors and so forth, put together to share that wealth of knowledge with the world.
I love it.
And in hopes that our lessons, the time that we spent on collecting the learnings, that would either help you save time to get to where you want to go, or to give you those answers that you may be looking for, or perhaps shift your mindset to be able to look at things differently, where something that you may think that could be as disastrous or life-threatening, like my mom's two brain aneurysms and potentially dying, and it's just like, how can you flip that? Now you look at life differently. How can you live life to its fullest and maximize every moment that you do have with them, with other people, so that you can truly create the life that you want.
Yes, I can feel your passion for it because your eyes closed as you were saying that. So I know it's real. Where do people find out more about MW experiences, more about the book, and more about you the person?
Well, for me as a person, I'm active on social media. So
Okay.
on um, this thing called Instagram,
No doubt.
Experience with Marisa. So that's my personal account. So that's where you get to see the inside scoops of how I live my life and just me being me.
Mm,
And then in more of that business mindset and sharing our tips and tricks, that will be on LinkedIn. So
cool.
Marisa, Marisaw. And then we're going to be launching a Substack where I give you the ins and outs of all the years I've collected of some stories and tips and tricks that will save you thousands of dollars, like just flying here.
Yeah.
The round trip of I have to come to Miami, then Costa Rica, and then go back to Toronto and London. If you Google search, it would have been $3,700.
Wow. Oh.
I was able to get it for $600. And I saved myself some pretty penny, which you can spend during your holidays
Yes.
for other people. So those tips I also share on the Substacks, which will be launching in the next few weeks.
Cool.
And then for the book, you can actually pre-register for it. It's launching in the new year. And I would love to share that with everybody. You can get that on marisawong.com.
Love it. And you know what? In the spirit of sharing with a fellow worldly, I want to experience life my way kind of person, I'm going to send you, I did it for my community. It's like 30 minutes, how I design life, but how I leverage travel hacking, which has nothing to do
Yes.
with just saving money. It's everything from knowing the rhythm of certain airports to knowing where
Oh,
showers
yes.
are to using points versus using buddy passes versus this particular airline. Like I figured all this stuff out. I don't know. I recorded it for them and I was gonna publish it and I was like, but this is so personal. I don't
Yes.
know if I'm ready to share it, but I am gonna share it with you because I think you will use it to help people and you and I are about helping people. So I'm gonna send that to you.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate this gift, especially during the time of giving, more so
Yeah,
during the
no doubt.
holidays.
Yeah.
And I would love to share this with you in just a
Sure.
word of aspiration that someone shared with me.
Yeah.
I didn't want to share a lot of the tips and tricks and ins and outs outside of our client base because
Mm,
they pay for it, right? The
mm, mm.
NDAs and so forth restricts us from sharing a lot of that. However, there's nothing wrong with it being your personal experience, like Marisa going to travel, this experience and sharing,
Agree.
those tips and tricks. So, Maurice, the fact that you even offered it to me, I know is going to be valuable because you lived it. And this is something that you value even to your community. So if you can share that with others, imagine
Yeah.
the one person that saves an hour at the airport or has a better
Respect.
experience. Is it not valuable and worth it to do it?
Respect. I agree. You got me.
Where were you yesterday? When I was in Miami, standing at the customs line. I'm like, I have Nexus, and like, how come we don't have access? And then finally, I get to the customs officer after waiting 45 minutes, and I was like,
Yeah.
I thought you have Nexus here. They're like, what's Nexus? I was like,
They
everybody
don't
says they
have it?
don't. And they're like, oh, we have this thing called global entry. I was like,
Yes.
Oh,
Ah,
I asked that, but the people didn't know that. So it's just a matter of telling people like wherever you
the
go,
little things. It's a
the
little thing.
little things. So it's
Yeah.
just changing the word, not nexus, global entry. Or, hey, I have this card. Where do I
Yeah.
go?
Yeah.
So it could just be as simple as that would have saved someone like me 45 minutes.
All right. Well, send me some feedback. But in the interim, you and I will stay in touch. Thank you for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate it. And
Thanks
thank
for
you for,
having
and I
me.
know it's a business and business is a good thing. And yes, we have to make money, but you are genuinely, what I love about you and the fact that it's a family business, but what I love about you and what you're doing is you're reopening people's mindset and life to the art of the possible and being kids again. We're too effing serious. It's too
Oh,
much. We've gone so right field on this stuff, this concept of life that everything is about making money and living and no, it's not. It's relationships, it's experiences, it's emotions, it's how you feel, it's seeing
it's
things, tasting.
play.
It's play, it's play, it's play. So I hope folks pick up that
Dancing.
thread from our conversation.
And I love your energy and your zest for life. And I
Yeah,
love
man.
how you're inspiring people to try life on because people are so scared to even just try.
Try. That's all you got to do is just try it.
So I leave people with this in your community instead of vicariously living through us,
Yes.
how about live with us
I love
and
it.
come do the things that we want to do and go do the things that you want to do. Even try one thing today that you have always wanted to do.
I love it. I
And journal that out and remind yourself how good that feeling is and carry that feeling as you go through the rest of your life.
love it. Thanks, Marissa. I appreciate
Thank
you.
you for having me.
My pleasure.
Let's
My pleasure.
connect and let's meet in person soon, please.
No doubt. No doubt. We will. We will.
Do you ever come to London?
All the time.
You do?
Yeah, connect through London all the time, going to Beirut and Paris and things of that nature.
Okay. Now,
Yeah, we
next
will
time,
connect.
you have me on speed dial now.
I do.
Call me up. And I've never been to Beirut ever.
I'm always there. I'm always
Okay,
there.
well, I'll come visit you. You show me your view of Beirut. I'll show you my view of London.
Love it. Love
And
it.
when you go down to the Caribbean, I'll pack my bikini and I'll go down with you as well.
Just grab a backpack. Come on down. Grab a
I
backpack.
have the
Come on down for the
Caribbean
day.
vibe. That's in my soul.
I
Love
love it.
it. When I go
I
to
love it.
Jamaica, they call me Miss Chin.
Oh,
Miss
okay.
Chin, welcome
Miss Chin.
back.
Amazing. Amazing. All right. We'll connect on WhatsApp. I'll send you a note.
Sounds good. Thank
All right.
you.
Talk soon.
Thank you for what you create.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Bye.
Hey guys, this is Maurice, host of the Try Life On podcast, and thank you for listening to another episode. I hope you are finding it useful and helping you design your own lifestyle that you don't need a vacation from. If that's the case, please consider dropping a review for me, whether in Apple, iTunes, or in Spotify. Drop a review, put some stars on it, give me some feedback on how I can make the podcast better, what information you are looking for. I am doing my best to get information to you on the Try Life On principles, the 5 freedoms, how to build lifestyle, travel hacking, all of it. And I want to do it for you. So please do a review for me. And until next time, my name is Maurice Philogene, and this is the Try Life On podcast. Peace.